Along with a new year comes a new decade, new goals, and maybe even a new you. 2020 will also bring new food and nutrition labels that can help no matter who you are or how familiar you may already be reading them. I spoke with registered dietitian Jana Wolf, Director of Nutrition at GBMC's Comprehensive Obesity Management Program, to find out what changes we'll see on those new labels and how it will help us make healthier decisions. So we're not only starting off on a new year, but we're starting out that year with nutritionally with new food labels?
Yes. So bigger companies are required to put in place the new food label design by January 1, 2020. So here we are. There's some big changes, the old and the new. The only people or the only companies that are not required to do this just yet are the smaller companies. So you may see some old labels in the grocery store that are not yet switched over. But a couple of the big things that are going to be changing are the calorie size and the serving size. So this is really good if you're trying to watch your weight or trying to watch your calories. When you're looking at the calories, they will be bigger than the old label. So you'll be able to see them front and center. Okay.
Not more calories, but bigger.
Not more calories, but the actual font size is bigger. So you can understand what you're consuming at the time. But also, in addition to that, you have the serving size that's going to be slightly different. So this is the original label that you see on most products, and then this is the new label. Some products have already taken on the new label, but by January 1, 2020, all of the major food companies have to take on this new label. So you can see the difference between the calories, how much bigger in font they are than the old calories. Also, you'll see that calories from fat is no longer on the nutrition label. Added sugars are underneath the total sugars. Okay, added sugars are the things that are placed in the product from things like cane syrup, dextrose, high fructose corn syrup. They're the added sugars that aren't naturally occurring in the product itself.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to give you an example of this. So I know that we're well past Halloween, but when I look at this label, I see total sugars, and then I see added sugars right beneath it, indented. So your total sugars are 21 grams, but they added in 21 grams. So there's no naturally occurring sugar. It's all added.
But it's candy.
Well, sure. So you know what you're in for, right? Yeah. But then what happens when you see things on the front label like made with real honey? These are marketing terms that people want to see and that marketers know people will buy into. So don't be fooled by that. Always look on the back. When it says made with real honey, you'd think that that might be the first ingredient. Well, no, the first ingredient is sugar and corn syrup.
So they've got a drop of honey in there and they can claim we've made it with honey.
Precisely. There's also an addition of vitamin D and potassium under the big bold line. These are the vitamins that we tend to ignore and not look at. But what we added was the vitamin D and the potassium because it appears that Americans are not getting enough of that in their diet. What was removed or unnecessary at this point was the vitamin A and C. They took that off because it appears that Americans are receiving enough vitamin A and C through their diet. I want to give you an example. So this is just your typical protein shake. See how the calories are a lot bigger than usual? And then this goes with 1 carton, so that's the serving size, 1 carton. So all of these numbers align with this 1 carton if you consumed it. Now, a difference that is going to be occurring in some products, if you could potentially consume the entire product, like I could sit down and probably eat this entire bag.
I could beat you.
Okay.
Beat you to the bottom of the thing.
So because of that, what they're starting to realize is that people will understand, yes, per serving, about 23 crisps would be 150 calories. But for the entire container, you also have the label that goes down 300 calories and everything else that aligns with it if you consume the entire container.
Okay, this one's not bad because that's only double, but I assume others are much larger.
Could be triple, quadruple, yes. So the serving sizes will be changing, which is nice, so you can be better educated when going into and buying certain products. something that's going to be removed, calories from fat. So they've realized that consumers are no longer looking at calories from fat, so they took it off to make room for other items on the label. So you do have to look out and watch out for the marketing terms on the front. A couple of marketing terms that you might be familiar with are gluten-free, all natural, organic. These all sound great.
Yes, they do.
And you probably think that you're picking things out that are really healthful, and they might be, but you can still add tons of sugar, fat, saturated fats, and calories.
So are there any other marketing terms? You gave us like 4.
Made with real fruit, no added sugar, or let's say unsweetened. So you can see that on tons of fruit juices. Fruit juices can have the same amount of sugar as soda. So all of these things are things to consider when you're looking around. You might want to just turn the food around and look at that label for the total sugars and the added sugars. Another label that you might see on the front of a package is gluten-free. A lot of people go in thinking that gluten-free might be healthier or lower in carbohydrates, and usually it's not. Or sometimes it can have less nutritional value because a lot of the whole grains or the fiber is taken out of it.
When it comes to the marketing of food products, looks can certainly be deceiving. Jana telling me that just because it looks healthy doesn't mean it is healthy.
You know, we might think, oh, Raisin Bran Crunch might be better option.
Well, Raisin Bran sounds healthy.
Raisin Bran has over 100 calories more and 28 grams of sugar versus the 14 grams of sugar.
Wow.
So an interesting product is it'll say 100% natural flavors, but it's still, you know, for a whole bottle of this, 300 calories, and look at this, 80 grams of added sugar, 80 grams. Wow. So do not be fooled by 100% natural flavors. It does sound, you know, caffeine free. Oh, this is, you know, with other natural flavors, this is probably a good product. You still have to flip it over and see, 300 calories, 80 grams of sugar. Also contains no juice, so if you're looking for that juice, right, 159% of your daily value just from this one drink.
So there you have it. Next time you're out on your grocery shopping adventure, be sure to turn the package over to find out if those snacks are truly as healthy as they claim or you think. You may find some new, healthier alternatives out there for a new, healthier you, now that you've mastered reading those new food and nutrition labels. For GBMC Greater Living, I'm Don Scott.